Politicians, leaders, and celebrities using Twitter to make important announcements or sharing their views is not uncommon. However, to see Twitter diplomacy from communist Beijing seems a bit unusual. With China's repressive policies against the Uyghur minorities in Xinjiang getting labeled as a state-sanctioned racism, Zhao Lijian, the deputy chief of mission for the Chinese embassy in Pakistan, wanted to counter this through his Twitter account. But instead of providing proof that Beijing is not torturing the Uyghurs, Zhao tried to justify the Chinese government's actions by drawing parallels to America's racial relations, triggering a controversy online. In a tweet, Zhao argued that black families in the US tend to bring down real estate prices because their entry into a neighborhood forces out affluent white families. The tweet attracted intense condemnation by Susan Rice, a former US National Security Advisor. "You are a racist disgrace and shockingly ignorant too. In normal times, you would be PNG'd for this." As his statement started becoming controversial, Zhao deleted the tweet. However, instead of offering an apology, Zhao started intensifying his attacks on American society, saying that the living conditions of African Americans in the US were wearisome, that American women were living in fear of sexual assault, and the entire country itself was gripped with fear of school shootings. Zhao is among the crop of Chinese officials who are trying to use social media to influence foreign opinions about China. Almost all Chinese embassies across the world operate Facebook pages. However, these are largely used to spread disinformation about Chinese culture. In contrast, Twitter accounts of Chinese officials tend to be personal statements about politics and society. But the officials seem to be overly aggressive in defending Beijing's actions, thereby ending up having the opposite effect and strengthening the criticism against China's authoritarian regime. For instance, Xi Tiankai, the Chinese ambassador to the US, recently tweeted that Taiwan is a part of China and warned that those who play with fire only get themselves burned. The tweet was made following Taiwanese President Tsai Ing-wen's visit to the US. Another Chinese official, Zhang Lijiang, called the Maldives Parliament Speaker Mohammad Nasheed's criticism of China's debt trap policy as misleading on Twitter, warning that such a statement harms our friendly relations. Some political experts believe that Chinese officials do not have the proper communication training to be active on Twitter. It's a gamble. Nothing in foreign policy is too small. And what if they say something incorrect? Or what if the policymakers in Beijing change their minds? Zhang Jiang, a former professor of journalism at Beijing's Foreign Studies University, said to South China Morning Post. Twitter previously triggered a China-related controversy after it mass suspended accounts critical of Beijing. The accounts were suspended just a few days before the 30th anniversary of the Tiananmen Square massacre on June the 4th. The move attracted widespread condemnation, with US Senator Marco Rubio accusing the company of colluding with the Chinese government. Twitter has apparently suspended large number of accounts that are critical of China, including accounts of people outside of China. Twitter has become a Chinese government censor. The social media platform eventually apologized for their actions, saying that the account suspensions were an error. However, many refused to buy the company's explanation and accused Twitter of covering up their pro-Chinese government agenda. The platform is only used by government officials and other public personalities or organizations in China. The general public is unable to access Twitter due to internet censorship. So what do you think of Chinese diplomats increasingly turning to Twitter to defend Beijing? Share your comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe to watch more videos on China and its growing impact on the world, its freedoms and culture. Hit the notification bell and be sure to share our news content on social media for a better informed network. Until the next time, be well.